Rocks do not need to always look plain. With a bit of effort, they can be easily transformed into beautiful art pieces. To do rock painting, always choose rocks with smoother surface. Not only it is much easier to apply acrylic paint on smooth surface, it also reflects light better and looks more colorful eventually. Before we begin, wash the rocks to remove any unwanted debris and let them dry. We begin by coating a white base color on the rocks. The white base layer will help to make other colors look more prominent later on, especially on rocks that naturally have a darker tone. Once the base color is dry, we can now coat the rocks with our preferred background color. I have chosen a series of light pastel color tones to match the season of spring. As soon as the background color is dry, we can begin to paint our first rock. By using a small round brush, I'm going to paint some flower petals. Press the brush, move inwards and release the pressure when you reach the center of the flower. After that, fill in the center of the flowers. Next, decorate the flowers with white tiny dots alongside the flower petals. There it is, our first rock is done. We now move on to our second rock. Started off by drawing a fine line on the left. This time we are going to paint bigger flower petals that resemble daisy. Press down the brush, move inwards and release the pressure when you reach the center of the flower. Turn the rock slightly each time to help the petals point precisely to the middle of the flower. Now we fill in the center of the flowers. Once we have the basic shapes of the daisies, we slowly add in more texture to the painting by adding more details. Here are some tiny white dots along the blue lines. And here another white color layers on the petals. Use your imaginations to add more details to transform the rocks into a more interesting and colorful piece of art. Moving on, let's paint some lavenders on the third rock. We begin by drawing the main stem of the flowers. Next, we add some leaves at the base of the plant with dark green and light green. Next, get ready a tiny bristle brush. We are going to paint the lavender blossoms. With an absolutely dry brush, we paint the first layer of purple. Next, we add on the pink layer. Next, another layer of white paint. Lightly dab on the previous layer of purple and pink. Finally, we enhance the bushes at the bottom of the rock with a richer layer of dark green, light green, and white. Once the paint on the surface of the rocks is thoroughly dry, don't forget to cover the back of the rocks with a coat of colors as well. Just use whatever leftover paint that are available on your palette. To protect the paint of the rock from wear and tear, especially if you plan to display them outdoor, it is very important to spray a few layers of transparent enamel on them to protect the paint. I normally spray a good 3 layers of enamel, just to make sure that they still look good for a long period of time under the harsh outdoor weather. Please take note that always to let the first layer to dry thoroughly before spraying the following layers. I am now going to display my painted rocks in the pots. Fill the pots with sand. Then display the rocks according to your liking in the pots. Here you go, our flower pots that are here just in time to welcome the beautiful spring.